Hello, one, hello, all, and welcome to Similori Field. Bulldogs set to battle versus the Mount St. Charles Academy Mounties. Bulldogs looking for a bounce back victory here behind the arm of Jack Tenuta. I'm excited, folks. Haven't had an opportunity to see number 22 yet this year. This is my first exposure to him. Believe it or not, at this point in the season, still sitting with an 0-0 record. I am the voice, Greg Moreno, alongside producer, owner Shane Belanger. We got Lisa behind the lens. Together, we are Westerly Live, Westerly Radio, bringing you Bulldog sports all the time. What a perfect day we have for a ball game. I know that's a cliche, but it really is. Well, it's better for me because I'm not. I'm enclosed and there's no wind. So out there, the one thing they're going to have to deal with is a little bit of a right to left outgoing wind, and that could benefit either team, whichever one lifts it up that way. So Tenuta's numbers on the year up until right now, he has a 1.75, very good ERA. He's got 4 appearances with an 0-0 record, which kind of tells me that the team's really not hitting behind him because he gives up less than 2 runs a game. So that means that he's leaving his team in position for victory, and they're not able to kind of finish it off. And that's what I gather just in black and white by the numbers. Scoring, Bulldogs have been involved in some tight games this season. They sit at 4-4 in the division at the moment, and all of their losses except for one have been one-run ball games. But you can't cry over spilled milk. In the end, they all count. So they're going to have to. We're at about 1/3 of the season in, and the teams ahead of them all lie ahead of them at the moment. So we'll see what happens with tonight's opponent because we know we're going to have a battle. The next opponent being St. Ray's. And as I said earlier this season, as Tenuta continues to warm up, the Bulldogs are seeing the number one arm of every opponent. They're seeing everybody's ace, everybody set up against the returning state champs, and that's just something you got to deal with. That's the price of success, I guess you would say, and that's the cause of what they say sometimes happens the next year. Bulldogs all warmed up, and we're ready to go. Bulldogs take on the Mounties. First pitch just seconds away. Westerly Live, Westerly Radio, bringing it to you. Busy week of sports. Had some girls across last night. Got more girls across tomorrow night. Got some boys across Friday night. Baseball game Saturday. But here and now, we're ready to roll. Tenuta toes the rubber for the first pitch. At bat number 1, Kyle Smolin for the Mounties. Tenuta starting in the stretch. And that's up and in, ball 1. Again, this is my first exposure to him this season. Good velocity on his first pitch. And that is down to shoot for a strike. So it's like an alternate. It's not really the stretch. He's using a kick step, so it is considered a windup. And the 1-1 delivery is going to be right down the chute, too. 1-2. 2 fastballs right over the outer portion of the plate. 1-2 count here. And the 1-2 is up and away. Ball 2. Just missed. Good waste pitch. See if he'll chase. 2-2 the count. Do my best with the count for you. Scoreboard is not going to help us out here today. And the 2-2 offering from number 22 is just outside, full count. So the leadoff hitter for the Mounties doing his job, getting his pitches up. Pitch number 6 in this at bat. And something's got to give. 3-2 count. And that is right there. Swing and a miss. Strikes him out. Goes back to the power and fastball. And strikes out. Batter number 1 of the day. Went up, 1 down. 7 pitches. 6 pitches. First at bat. Not a bad job. Number 11 stepping in for the Mounties. Connor Robillard. And now the Mounties come in here with a 3-4 division record. And first pitch, inner portion, strike one. And there's different records everywhere. Bulldogs are 4-4 overall, 3-3 in the division. I believe they're 3-4 in the division after the last game. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, nice break on, a little too much, 1-1. So now that I'm thinking back and I'm seeing more of Tenuta, this is the same style windup that he has had. It's been a year. The pitch right there, swing and a miss. Nice pop on the fastball today. Preseason, Coach Posado said he's got his pitch up in the 87, 88 mile an hour range. 1-2 pitch, 1 out, nobody on. Top first here. And up and away, waste pitch, doesn't chase. 2-2. So hopefully today the Bulldogs can back up Tenuta with a little bit of offense. It does get frustrating as the season wears on if you're a pitcher and you're not giving up many runs. 1.75 is not many at all. If you're a sub 2.0, that's excellent. 4 starts. And that is just away for a ball. That means your team hasn't scored twice for you pretty much at any of them. So the Bulldogs full count pitch. Payoff pitch, they would say. Delivery of the pitch right down the middle, swing and a miss. Overpowers him, batter number 2. Almost a mirror at bat. Both batters bring the count full. Both batters strike out swinging on the payoff pitch. Easy to keep a pitch count there, 6 each, that's 12. Stepping in number 13, Garrett Godin. So the Bulldogs schedule doesn't lighten up at all. Hoping that this is a game that can kind of tip the scales a little bit, get them set up. Their next opponent is not easy by any means. And that would be St. Ray's in 2 days on the road. And breaking ball, doesn't get him to chase. 1-0 count. And when I say a beautiful setting, I got the best seat anywhere in Westerly. Perched up behind home plate, the wind doesn't bother me, but sun's out, not a cloud in the sky. The field is absolutely in perfect condition. And that's on the inside portion. Doesn't get the call. I like the pitch. 2-0 the count. I'm watching the flag, and the wind is shifting pretty much almost straight out to left. I know that could help out the man on the hill. And swing and a miss. 1-2 is the count. 2 outs, nobody on. Bulldogs looking to head back to the dugout here and take their turn at the plate. Nothing Tenuta would like better than a quick 1-2-3 first inning. The 1-2. You swing and a miss. Strikes out the side. And the Bulldogs head to the dugout. Can't start better than that, Jack Tenuta. 1-2-3. 3 strikeouts in the books. And the Bulldogs will get their first turn at the plate. The order for the day, the leading off for the Bulldogs will be number 24, Zach Miner. And he is going to be at second base. Number 11, Grayson Simmons. He's going to be in right field. You got Tenuta batting third, pitching. Shep Simmons is the cleanup hitter, and he will be playing third base as always. Costa will be catching. Bozek from left. Nick Tria will be the DH, who's having a good season. Mike Poole, first base, and Noah Burdick is the shortstop for the Bulldogs. Number 7, pitching for the Mounties. That's Deke Mousseau. Let me see if I can get up some numbers for you there. You are, all right, so he comes in with 4 appearances, correction. That would be second most on the team. So he's their number 2. He's got a 1-2 overall record in those 4 appearances and a 4.10 ERA. Bulldogs definitely need to work on the offense here as the season moves forward, especially once you start talking playoffs and things that I talk way ahead about. They can't really be thinking about that right now. They're going to stay focused one game at a time. That's how, Coach Pizzato preaches, and that's how they're going to get their success and get their way into the playoffs. So watching the righty, seeing a few fastballs out of him, got pretty good velocity, and took a little bit off that one, not much movement. Mounties come in, like I said, 3-4 record. They're in 2B. Bulldogs sit in Division 2A. So the Bulldogs, yes, are 4-4 overall, 3-1 in the league. And we are getting ready to get started here. Bottom of the first inning, no score. Pristine field conditions. Sun is shining. Wind is blowing a bit. Is the one, I guess, downfall from an otherwise perfect day. Got a game live across the complex. All right, and the Mounties' first pitch over the inner porch and fouled down. 0-1 count. And so I'm seeing some speed changes out of him. That wasn't the full pop fastball I watched in warm-ups, which is definitely a weapon if you can alter speeds. You can alter speeds with accuracy. Breaking ball way past. I did not see a successful breaking ball in warm-ups. But if you can change speeds and do it with accuracy in high school, you're going to become a pretty good, if not dominant pitcher. And that's a breaking ball with a little wiggle, stayed upstairs. 2-1 the count. And swing and fouled off. And otherwise would have been a strike. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, too far away. Full count here. So both leadoff batters for each squad doing their job, working the pitch count. And the payoff pitch now from Mousseau. It's there, he holds it and watches strike 3 go by. He knew. And after getting ahead in the count, the Mounties pitcher comes back and strikes out the first batter. In steps number 11, Grayson Simmons for the Bulldogs. The utility freshman batting second here today. Simmons comes in with a .294 average. He's got 18 plate appearances, 17 official at-bats, 5 for 17, first pitch, outer porch, and strike. 0-1 the count. So pretty good numbers, especially for a freshman. .294 batting average, 9 games played. So he's played in every game. And that's right there, too. Let's it go. Call the ball. 1-1 count. At least saw something I didn't. So the Bulldogs looking for their first base runner. And that is grounded. Tough play by third, and that's going to be a single for the Bulldogs. And they get just that, their first base runner out of Grayson Simmons. So that .294 average will bump up a bit, possibly over 3 for him. And now at bat, number 22, the pitcher, Jack Tenuta, their best hitter by a good margin in 9 games, batting .462. 26 official at bats out of 31 plate appearances. And he puts that, and that is going to beat the outfield to opposite field and roll all the way to the fence. And that'll score the Bulldogs' first run. And that'll be a stand-up double. Helps himself in his own cause. Jack Tenuta showing his talent at the plate, going with the pitch the other way. And he drives it with power. He really does. He's a big presence, only a junior. And he can go fluidly from foul line to foul line with power and beyond. I mean, that ball traveled. That right fielder never had a shot at it, And the Bulldogs quickly up 1-0. In the box is Shep Simmons. Swing and a miss. 0-1's the count. Runner in scoring position, 1 down. Simmons batting cleanup. And that is popped up and out of play, the breaking ball. And delivery pitch up and swing and a miss. Got him chasing, and that's going to be the second out of the inning. So the Bulldogs still with a runner in scoring position. And now at bat the catcher, number 9, Travis Costa. And Costa having an excellent season at the dish. 364, 32 plate appearances, 22 official bats. Knows how to take a walk and just down the line foul. Knows how to get on base. Knows how to sacrifice. Can do pretty much anything. And that was over the outer portion, sprayed her way down the right field line. Now, if I were the Mounties, I would have definitely probably played this a little differently and pitched a little more carefully to Costa. But now you're up 0-2, so who am I to judge? And the 0-2 pitch upstairs doesn't chase. Good eye, and that's what Costa has, is a great eye. Whenever you see all those at-bats disappear into plate appearances, you know he knows how to work his way towards first base. The 1-2 pitch. And that's going to stay inside, 2-2. Pitching smart. Count evens up. On deck, Drew Bozak. And that was down the chute, ground ball, second base. Handled cleanly. Throw to first is, does he hold the bag? He does not. And that is going to bring the runner to third. Safe at first on the error throw. But he'll get there on an error anyway. Runners at first and third for the Bulldogs. 2 outs. And they have pushed 1 across the plate here in the bottom of the first inning. Another thing they've done is they've really picked up the pitch count here on Deacon Mousseau. He's a tough first inning and a lot of pitches here. It's not over yet. And it's a ground ball, chopped foul. And at bat for the Bulldogs, number 12, Drew Bozak. And that is going to stay away for a ball, 1-1 count. One pitch, and it's turned on. That's going to be sprayed left foul, way ahead of it. 1-2, 2 outs. And still with the base open, I wouldn't expect much of the play here. And that's grounded to the third base. Fielder throws across the diamond for the out, and that'll end the inning. Appearances to back it up. 23 at-bats. And the pitch right down the chute. Good velocity. 0-1 count. Getting on top of each hitter so far. There's a lot of movement in that front foot. And that pitch is sprayed foul. Another fastball. And quickly ahead, 0-2. Middle and double play depth for the Bulldogs. Takes the runner out first. Poole reels it in. And the pitch is upstairs, stays up. Costa pops up and is ready. Paying a lot of attention to the runner. If you're paying any attention, really, that means the runner's doing his job over there. I can see the wind has not let up at all on the field. Like I said, I have the best seat now in Westerly at the moment. And the pitch, straight foul. Commanding fastball, there's no doubt about that. And he's placing it very well. One and two the count. Runner on first, get checked, no throw. And ground ball third base, and that goes foul. Fortunately for the Bulldogs, well, had it been fair, he probably would have reached it. So way ahead of it, 1-2 the count remains with nobody out, runner on first. We are in the top of the second inning. Similari Field, the Bulldogs host the Mount St. Charles Academy Mounties. 2 games from the halfway mark in the season, and the Bulldogs looking for a jumping point, a springboard forward here. They have some tough opponents coming up, but they've played in every game that they've played. And that pitch, strike 3 over the outside. Command of that fastball absolutely all night, well, second inning, but placing it very well. 1 out, runner on first, number 5 steps in the box, Connor Thibault, and he comes in batting 286. Batting average is down at the moment for the Bulldogs a little bit. And swing and a miss, way behind. Love what I'm seeing thus far out of Jack Tenuta. I was hoping I'd get a chance today to see him. And Mounties batter wisely. They've done it twice now. Pitches keeping you uncomfortably long. You step back. Umpire is saying something to the dugout.
I know, but you just can't do it. Like.
Loud Mountie dugout in portion. Fly ball right field. Got a beat on it. And he's going to wrap that one up. 9 unassisted for the second out of the inning. Nice job by Tenuta. And number 7 will step in. Deke Musso, the pitcher for the Mounties. First lefty of the day. And the Bulldogs playing straight up here now in the infield with 2 outs. And number 22's pitch is swing and a miss. When you can place your fastball like that with that velocity, that'll get you through some teams. Checks that runner at first. Takes off. Costa's throw on the wrong side of the bag, and he will be safe at second. So we do have a runner in scoring position, tying run at second base here. Pitcher looking to try to help his own cause, number 7. I was just about to say to look for the steal, try to get a runner in scoring position. A little freebie, and there he went. Costa not easy to steal on. Full knee kick doesn't always help, overpowers the batter, swing and a miss, 0-2. 2 outs. Musso batting 182 coming in. The kick in the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Ends the inning. Strikeout number 5 of the day for Tenuta. And the Bulldogs get set for their half. Through 1.5, the Bulldogs won. And the Mounties 0. Tenuta taking care of business on the hill. I'm impressed with everything I've really seen out of him. Bulldogs attack offensively in the first inning was impressive as well. Brought the pitch count up on Rousseau, the Mounties pitcher. Tacked on a run as well. Left a couple base runners on. But the Bulldogs, if they're looking for a boost in any part of their game in particular, it's got to be the offensive end. Runners left on base in particular. They're going to have to score more runs. And that's all told on what I'm seeing out of Tenuta and that 1.75 ERA he brings into tonight. He doesn't require a lot to get a victory. And when you're talking under 2 runs necessary for a win, you're not asking for a lot. So the Bulldogs look to improve upon that, and they had a good first inning. Leading off here in the bottom of the second is going to be number 28, Nick Tria. Tria having a good season at the dish, 333, 31 plate appearances. A junior first baseman DHing here tonight. I mean, Tenuta was 7-3 with a 1.69 ERA last year. He is take away the 7-3 portion, but at 1.75 at the moment, you're getting exactly what you're looking for, a sub 2 ERA. And in steps Tria here, bottom of the second inning. The sun still shining, not a cloud in the sky. Bulldogs work the pitcher in the first. Breaking ball to start. Too much for outside. 1-0 is the count. We got a full complex, 2 games going on here. And that's going to be outside, 2-0. We got some Bulldog softball across the way. Bulldog baseball right in front. And ground ball third. Handles it. Throw across the diamond on the mark. That is 5-3 for out number 1. And in steps Michael Poole for the Bulldogs, the first baseman. So a quick out for the Mounties. And breaking ball outside. And that's a ground ball. And that is just foul, unfortunately. 1-1 the count. Poole able to turn on that one. I'd expect this one to be a little further on the outside portion of the plate. I am incorrect. Up and in. 2-1 the count. I talk a lot, but I'm not always right. That's for certain. Breaking ball, and no break on that breaking ball. And unfortunately, hit in the back of the elbow. That always hurts. Bulldogs have a base runner, however, as Poole will make his way to first. And number 3, the shortstop, Noah Burdick, steps in for the Bulldogs. Runner on first, 1 out. And they get a little timeout for him to rub that off. Got him right in the right spot. Good thing it wasn't a fastball. And we're ready to roll here. First pitch. Got under it. Tracked by the first baseman. Is he going to have room? No, he's not. And that's a 0-1 count. Mounties in double play depth. Poole takes his lead off first. And that pitch stays upstairs. 2-1 is the count. Noah. And that's upstairs. Good eye by Burdick. 2-1. And that stays upstairs. 3-1. Good eye by Burdick. And that one stays upstairs. He gets a free pass. Bulldogs suddenly in business here with 2 base runners. And they're going to flip the order now and start with leadoff hitter Zach Miner, number 24, second baseman. Bulldogs have a runner in scoring position. 1 out. And first pitch is upstairs. Musso having a little bit of trouble bringing it down in the zone. And this one's there. Turn on, ground ball to shortstop. And he's going to try to turn a pair over the middle. Slide, no throw to first. So a runner will advance to third on the fielder's choice. Out number 2. Runners remain at the corners for the Bulldogs. And in steps Grayson Simmons for the Bulldogs. Poole just 90 feet away here at third base. Bulldogs sure would love to bring in another run. And that stays inside, 1-0. Bulldogs ahead in the count, as they have been most of the day. That one's there. Yeah, that one is going to be a one-hopper to third. He's going to go the long way across the diamond. And he's not going to make the play. The throw is high. Brought him off the bag. That's going to give the Bulldogs a run. And some heads-up base running over there by number 24. Zach Miner gets his way all the way to third. So Grayson Simmons having a very productive year at the dish, making the fielders make the plays. Throw from third was high. Popped out of the first baseman's glove. That guaranteed Poole's crossing home. The smart base running by Miner. Now the Bulldogs have their second run across the plate. Runners again at first and third, and in steps Tenuta. And that stays upstairs, and they're going to challenge him. And boy, oh boy, I would go with a different approach, but there is a base vacant and 2 outs. And that one stays away, so they may be that unintentional, intentional walk theory. Yeah, that stays away. Yeah, he's not going to see anything. 3-0. Sure, he's got the green light, there's no doubt. But this one's going to be in the opposing batter's box, I think. Not even close. And called strike. See, that's the thing about the unintentional, intentional walk theory I don't like. When you get that strike, what's the difference? And he goes after him in a swing. That's going to stay foul. And see, that strike often makes you go after him. And let's see if Tenuta, who is now suddenly being pitched to, can make them pay for it. Full count. Runners at the corners. 2 down. Bulldogs ahead 2-0. Jack Tenuta, the pitcher, at the plate. And he drives with the left center, and that's why I don't understand that theory. The bobble by the left fielder. Still trying to pick it up. And that 2 runs are going to cross the plate as the ball rolls in harmlessly to the infield. Tenuta with a 2 RBI double with 2 outs, giving the Bulldogs a 4-0 lead. I think that same scenario happened last game that we covered here. I mean, you're pitching away from them. You're not giving them anything at all. The count's 3-0. Suddenly you get a called strike on really what was a ball, and then you just change your whole methodology and decide, okay, I'm going to attack him. He's still the best hitter on the team, even though the count's 3-1, and they paid for it. And I swear, last game we were here, somebody did it to another Bulldog hitter if it wasn't Tenuta again that time. I mean, he is their best hitter, and he can certainly do it with 2 strikes, swing and a miss by number 10. So that was a failure of approach, in my opinion, on the Mounties' part. Great job by Tenuta. And that is fouled straight back. 2 strikes, stays alive. A frustrated Simmons at the dish. Runner in scoring position, 4-0 Bulldogs. Tenuta producing across the board on the rubber and in the batter's box, swing and a miss. And that's going to end the inning, but not before the Bulldogs tack on 2 more off the bat of Jack Tenuta, who is spinning a gem on the mound and now has 2 RBIs to boot at bat. While the teams get ready, we got 2 in the books. Bulldogs 4, Mounties 0. We're going to take a quick break.
There'll be a couple more out there. I gotta do one too.
Welcome back to a beautiful Similori field here. Great start for the Bulldogs. We have 2 innings in the books, and the Bulldogs have a 4-0 lead. Tenuta on the hill for the Bulldogs. And 2 clean innings, only 1 base runner allowed, and that was on hit by pitch. Struck out the side in the first, struck out a pair in the second, and got a 2 RBI double to boot. Leadoff batter steps in for the Mounties and calls timeout, as a lot of them are doing. They're trying to get him out of any kind of rhythm he is, but he's a stone up there. And Reddy immediately throws a pitch, swing and a miss. He used that timeout, and if you watch him, he being Tenuta, does not move his foot at all. He stays at the ready position. As soon as you step back in the box, he's firing. I love that approach, the timeout. And if you watch, he'll be ready. He's ready for his pitch right now. At the ready. Batter steps in, he's throwing. And that is pretty much just a message. You can call him many timeouts as you want. He's not going to let you get comfortable in the box near his plate. It's an intimidating approach that Tenuta has, and I personally love it. Much like 1-2 the count, quickly ahead here, top third. I don't want to say it's a must-win. You got a tough St. Ray's opponent coming up, and I think emotionally it's a must-win. There's no doubt about that. And the pitch down, the shoot, strike three, freezes him, and one up, one down here in the top of the third inning. Tenuta on his game in every facet here, and just looking at the numbers, that seems to be the case all three times. This is his third appearance, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see the pitching. I got him highlighted here. He's got four appearances in the book, so this is his fifth appearance. 1.7 IVRA. I mean, that's fantastic through five appearances. And he is definitely overpowering the Mounties at the moment. Right there, called strike. 0-2 pitch, one out. And swing and a miss. And boy, he's got some strikeout numbers now, 7 strikeouts. And we are only in the third inning. I think he's got 7 out of a possible 9. Number 1 steps in, Kyle Smolin, and the Mounties leadoff hitter. His second look at Tenuta. Struck out in his first at bat. And strike down the inner portion. Great control. And the 0-1. Ball just up. 1-1 the count. Batter goes timeout. Steps completely out. Tenuta stays at the ready. He is in. Pitch is being delivered. And check swing. He held up. 2-1. He is the count. Bulldogs need to stay on the attack, certainly. It is so early in this one. Offensively, that is. And that stays up and in. 3-1 the count. And delivery right down the chute, called strike. They want the freebie. Not there, and the payoff pitcher waits here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the third. And the pitch out, called strike on the breaking ball away. And Tenuta has gone through 3 innings here, 3 shutout innings, and he has struck out, I think, 7 out of 9 batters. It could even be 8, but anyway, it's impressive. He is having a day on the hill. We are through 2.5, and Bulldogs will get their chance at bat here in the bottom of the third. Folks, this production is brought to you in part by Wireless Zone Westerly, authorized Verizon retailer, Repair Zone, crack screen, new battery. We got you covered. Located next to Duncan at Dunn's Corners in Westerly. That's Wireless Zone. Valenti Subaru sales and service located at Dunn's Corners in Westerly. Valenti means value. With over 90 years in the auto business, the Valenti family knows how to keep customers happy. Voted Retailer of the Year 2022 by Subaru of New England. Kiefer Martial Arts, Kids Karate, 2 free weeks, and a free uniform exclusive offer for Westerly Live viewers. Use coupon code Westerly Live at checkout on KieferMartialArts.com. The Mounties pitcher having a discussion with the umpire between innings there. Always interesting to me what may be the discussion. Bulldogs have scored 2 runs in each of their plate appearances here, in the first and the second. They're going to lead things off, I believe, with Travis Costa here. And a 4-0 lead. Costa comes in today with a, I know I'm on 364 batting average, which is a great batting average for anybody. For a catcher, it's exemplary considering how beat up you are at all times. Good eye, ball outside, 1 and 0. And that one is a ball, stays outside. And that's going to make it 3 and 0. That one gets past the catcher. So Costa looking to be the Bulldogs' first base runner of the inning. And the 3-0 pitch. That's going to stay upstairs, and he gets it at 4 pitches. And the Bulldogs are in business with a runner on first base. And up steps number 12 is going to step to the plate. Drew Bozek, left fielder for the Bulldogs. From the stretch, and that pitch called strike pops out of the catcher's glove. 0-1 the count. And that's a drive to left field single, and that's going to keep runners at first and second. Turned on it, Bozek did, and the Bulldogs are definitely in business now with 2 base runners on and nobody out. Number 28 steps in Nick Tria, who's having a nice year at the dish himself, 333 average, 31 plate appearances. And he's got 4 RBIs, which sure love to make it 5. Costa at second. Squares the bunt, and he lays down a beautiful bunt. Going to move forward both runners. They make the play at first base, though, but you can't draw it up any better than that. That's why they practice every day, and that's why every player practices it. And the perfect sacrifice bunt. Now the Bulldogs, with 1 out, have 2 runners in scoring position. First base is open. Michael Poole steps in. 1 out. Infield in for the Mounties. They can't afford to let this deficit grow anymore. And Poole turns on, and that's going to land in foul ground, though. They're going to make their play at home, clearly. With Tenuta pitching the way he is, you can't let much more of a deficit accrue. And that is a breaking ball that doesn't break. Stays up 1-1. So with the infield being in and the outfield playing at moderate to deep depth, there's a lot of ground in between. You can loop one in a lot of spots. 2-1 the count. And that is going to be fouled off to the right. No one's going to get there. And I'll make it 2-2. Putting it in play and making them do something would be huge here. And that is a good eye. Brings the count to 3-2 full as the pitcher slipped on the delivery. Full count. First base is open. And the payoff pitch stays away, and great at bat by Poole. Good eye, and works the count and earns the walk. The bases are loaded for the Bulldogs with 1 out. And they're going to back up the middle of the infield into double play depth to see if they can't end this thing. Number 3 steps in. Noah Burdick for the Bulldogs, a shortstop. Looking to open this thing up a little bit here for the Bulldogs. First pitch, swing, fouled away. 0-1 count. Bases loaded, 1 out. Corners up. And that's to the outside, 1-1. And that is going to be right down low, excuse me. I thought it was a strike, but that was down. Good eye by Burdick. 2-1 the count. There's no room for him. And that is going to be low and away. Now you got to throw him a strike, or the Bulldogs will get the run here. Frustrated Mousseau on the mound, clearly, who has also thrown a lot of pitches here, and it's only the bottom of the third inning. 3-1. It's a green light pitch. And it's a number, and it's going to stay foul. Full count, 1 out. 3-2 count. Big pitch in this one, especially if you're the Mounties. And the pitch lined up the middle, and that is going to single in 2 runs for the Bulldogs. Great at bat for Noah Burdick. 2 RBI single with the bases loaded and 1 out. And the game now stands at 6-0 Bulldogs. Runners at first and second. 1 out remaining, and now the coach is going to head out and talk to his pitcher. That pitch count is up. The morale is down. The Bulldogs offense has shown up today, certainly. A jovial dugout to my left, which is good to see. This needed to be a springboard there towards the second half of the season, in my opinion. And they're using it as just that. Coach is talking to his pitcher. It's not an automatic switch here that I see. And, yep, I think he's going to make the switch. He's calling over to the bullpen, and that switch is going to be made. So we will see a new pitcher here before things get started. And when he warms up, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back, folks.
That was some Zach Lobby music. Lobby music.
Welcome back, everybody. We got a new pitcher on the hill for the Mounties here. It's number 6. That's going to be Kyle Wagner. Looking at the numbers, let me see. The Bulldogs number 24. Zach Miner is going to step in here. We got runners at first and second. 1 out. We are in the bottom of the third inning. Bulldogs ahead 6-0. And that pitch is low and away. Bulldogs doing a nice job of getting their money's worth in their at-bats, working the pitcher. Big performance thus far by Tenuta. One of the better two-strike hitters that I've seen. And swing and a miss. Nice pitch low and in.
Let's go, 2-4. Off in the box, let's go. Let's go, 2-4. Come on, Minor.
And ground ball to third. Feels it over his shoulder, and that's going to be an out at third base. Out number 2 on the fielder's choice. So in steps Grayson Simmons for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs still with 2 base runners. And that is turned on down the line, foul territory. Driven pretty well if you get it up in the air, in the wind over there. And breaking ball outside, 1-1 the count. So Tenuta really, I haven't had to see him pitch all year up until today. You can go by the numbers. 4 appearances, 1.75 ERA. Doing more of the same tonight, even better. So he's even progressing as the season goes on. You can't command a game much better than he has done here thus far tonight. And it's always nice when your offense kicks in as well. Those things, there's a symmetry in baseball. You work one way or the other, hand in hand generally. And the Bulldogs really, in essence, do need this game. And that is nubbed foul. 2 strikes on the breaking ball, 2-2 count. 2 outs, 6-0, bottom of the third. But after this one, Bulldogs have a day off, and then they head to St. Ray's, who are 5-2 at the moment. Waiting for a baseball to come in. Apparently, we're light. No umpires have any. Back in the box, Grayson Simmons. Good lead at second. A single would score him. And waits on it. Fly ball to right field, being tracked, coming in hard, and makes the running catch. That's a nice catch anywhere. Give credit where credit is due. Certainly saved a run, maybe 2. And that'll end the inning. 3 in the books. Bulldogs 6, Mounties 0. As Tenuta will head to the rubber for the top of the 4th inning. He pitch count extremely low at the moment. Doing a nice job both at bat and on the rubber. So Tenuta warming up. He'll be the leadoff hitter in the bottom half of this inning for the Bulldogs. I'm trying to spy in on the conversation between the coach and umpire. Not much of anything. And Tenuta's warm-up's almost complete here. So we'll be back in action tomorrow night, folks, at Sal or Jerry Field for some ladies Bulldog lacrosse, looking for a bounce-back game. Having a nice season thus far at 4-1. And then one day off, but back at Salvador Jerry Field Friday night, boys lacrosse. And right back here Saturday for some Bulldog baseball. Bulldogs don't have a lot of time off, I'm seeing here. They play today. They get a day off. They play on the 27th. St. Ray's, then they head for a non-league game, Waterford, on the 28th. Tough schedule in there. That's interesting. And then the 29th at Tiverton. So that is a tough stretch for anybody, but especially on a pitching staff. Let me see here. So there would be 27, 28, 29, 3 days in a row. 4 out of 5 days they have a game. Huh, that's a tough one. So here we go. Top 4. In number 11, Connor Robillard. Not sure why that non-league game would be stuffed in there. I'd get rid of that puppy. And first pitch upstairs lays off 1-0 count. Yeah, certainly. I'm staring at that wondering. That's putting a lot of onus on your pitching staff there at a key point in the season. Everything is gravy at the moment. Ground ball, shortstop off his back foot. Tries to make the play just too deep in the hole. That'll be an infield single to lead off the first inning. Lead off the fourth inning. Number 13 steps in. It's going to be Garrick Godin of the Mounties. Batting .400. Having a very good season, 29 at bats, so you got plenty sample size. And challenge straight fastball. Foul back. All sorts of signs coming from the coach over there. Pretty good primary lead from first. 6-run deficit. You don't want to get thrown out on the base path. And breaking ball stays away. 1-1 the count. Essentially, this is just a straight-up at-bat in my estimation with a 6-0 deficit. You got a run around, that's great. And a nice move by Tenuta. Tried to catch him sleeping. And again, the no-look throw over there. At the ready, little duel between the pitcher and the runner. He's going to take off. Costa's got the throw. It's going to be high and away. They get the stolen base. And the pitch was a ball, so that'll make the count 2-1. Correction, flip that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. First base available. When he was ahead in the count, go right at him here. Taking his time. Timeout called by the batter. That base runner is doing his job, I'll tell you. Gathering any attention, really, more than the norm from a pitcher, and you're doing your job. And with a 6-run deficit, only 1 runner isn't that much of a priority. And breaking ball stays away, working his way back 2-2. And the pitch stays inside, works the count all the way back to 3-2. A good at bat by Godin. Perhaps why he is batting .400. And he does have 1 round tripper, and you don't want to let this be another. Full count. pitch stays upstairs. The open base is now full. No harm done. The best hitter, perhaps, on the Mounties team by the numbers. That is their best hitter. And he goes to first and now pretty much just sets up a force at any base for the Bulldogs, who have no outs, 2 runners on. The Mounties are in business. This is the biggest jam the Bulldogs have seen. The corner, first base is going to come up a little bit in case of that bunt to put them both in scoring position. Lefty in the box. And that breaks in, almost hits him. Number 16. And he's the one who took it off the toe in his first at bat, and then questionable hit by pitch. The 1-0. And that's low and in. A little bit out of his groove now, Tenuta. 2-0 the pitch. 2-0 the count. The 2-0 squares the bunt, pulls it back 3-0. And with no outs here and the 3-0 count, you certainly don't give a green light. This is going to have to be a good old-fashioned strike. And he's swinging and miss. He has a green light. Who am I? Might as well, I just assume. Now Tenuta trying to climb all the way back, 3-1. And that's right down the chute, strike 2. And that was what they would call a hitter's pitch. A little pepper behind that fastball, let me tell you. 3-2, works it all the way back, payoff pitch. Biggest pitch of the day thus far for Tenuta. And that stays inside, everyone gets the base. And they are loaded now with nobody out. Let's see where the Bulldogs play this with a 6-0 advantage. No panic for certain. Number 2 is going to step in. That's Alexander Beta for the Mounties. And he is hitting .304 in 27 at-bats. So if you're batting .300, you know how to swing the stick. Certainly the corners are up for the Bulldogs. And now they're bringing everybody up late. Interesting call. I don't hate it with nobody out. Timeout called, batter again. And the pitch. Swing and a miss down the chute. 0-1. Bulldogs in a jam here in the top of the 4th, folks. They do hold a 6-0 advantage, but the Mounties are on the attack. Bases loaded, nobody out. 0-1 count. And it's up and away. 1-1. And the middle is backed up to double play depth. That's where what the normal call would be. The conventional defense. Corners up. The 1-1 delivery. And that is low and in, 2-1. 2-1 the count, nobody out. Bases packed. Timeout called. Definitely an approach that was discussed with the coach, the Mounties, on trying to get Tenuta out of his rhythm, calling a lot of timeouts in the box. Whether it's working or not, I don't know. I'll tell you after this at bat, waves at it, foul. 2-2 the count. At the ready. Number 22, Tenuta's 2-2 delivery, bases back, and that is popped up to the infield. Infield fly is in effect, the batter is out, and you can't do any better than what Tenuta just forced other than a strikeout. Nobody can advance anywhere. Huge out for the Bulldogs and Tenuta, whose infield can stay pretty much the same with the corners up and the middle at double play. We have one down now, number 5 in the box. That's Connor Thibault. He comes in with a 286 average. Not a bad average at all. And first pitch, gets to head in the count. It's in foul grounds. And Poole is unable to locate it. Sun was an issue, I would assume. Nevertheless, it's a long run over there to get there. That would have been a heck of a play. And it's a long strike. 0-1 the count. Huge turning point in this ball game here. Bulldogs with a 6-0 lead. We're in the top of the 4th. Tenuta trying to work himself out of a jam. Oh, one pitch drops right in there. Beautiful pitch. 0-2 coming right at him. He does not fear any opponent. He comes right at every batter. 0-2, 1 out. Got to be smart here, though. Don't want to give him too much of the plate. On this pitch, at least. And up and away, good waste pitch. Doesn't get him to bite. 1-2. Tenuta gets his sign. Counts 1-2. 1 out. Bases are loaded. And we're going to reset here. And the pitch breaks away. 2-2. Have a feeling we're going to see a fastball right here. And the pitch from Tenuta. It's on ground ball, and it bounces off of Simmons' glove, and then off shortstop. It's an infield single that'll plate the first run of the day for the Mounties. Excuse me, I don't want to say an infield signal. That's going to be an error probably on the third baseman for the Bulldogs. It should have been an out somewhere. A run would have played it either way, probably. But the ground ball, nevertheless, puts the Bulldogs further into a jam. It is 6-1, and the bases remain loaded with only 1 out. Number 6 steps in, Kyle Wagoner, batting 118. First pitch, strike on the inside portion. Tenuta at the ready. And swing and a miss, 0-2. Pitch count has probably doubled in this inning alone of the total of the first 3 innings combined. This fourth inning's probably doubled that. Ahead 0-2 with one down. You got to understand that these players out there don't know their opponent's batting averages and who to go right after. And generally know if you're that good who to avoid. Outer portion of the plate, catches him, look in, strike three, second out of the inning. Number 8 steps in for the Mounties. That's Greg Piet, batting 200. Bulldogs would love to end this inning, having only given up one run. Man, that'd be a moral victory to begin with. First pitch upstairs. Still got plenty of pepper behind that one. Mounties are going to make him throw a strike, I'm sure. And that one's low, 2-0. Number 22 gets set. 2-0 count, 2 outs, top 4. The pitch right there, called strike. 2-1. And that one is there on the outer portion, strike 2. 2-2. 2 outs. We'll put an end to this right now. The pitch, and that is up and away. We have a full count with the bases loaded. Everyone will be in motion, which means the single will certainly score 2. Big pitch here. Biggest pitch thus far. Full count, payoff pitch. Timeout called. He said he called that timeout, saved himself for a balk, which a bases loaded balk is not something you want. And again, they're working with his motion. And I'm going to be honest with you, I can understand in a few ways, in a few aspects of his set position and the delivery. The pitch fouled out. I can understand a few little ticks he has in his windup, set position, whatever you want to say. Full count, 2 outs, bases loaded, 6-1. And that is right down the low, ball 4. Run number 2 crosses the plate. And the Bulldogs are going to call timeout. And the infield's going to come in. They got a little meeting. Try to stop the bleeding here with 2 outs. So that was a quick one. Probably trying to just lift the spirits of Tenuta up a bit. Wasn't an earned run. And they would have been out of this inning. And he does have an error behind him. Number 4 in the box, Luke Smolin. And he has only got 3 at-bats this season. So if you know that as a pitcher, you go right after him. You don't play around at all. Strike 1. 0-1 the count. The 0-1 swung on, popped up, being tracked by the shortstop and the third baseman. They called off and caught by the shortstop. Noah Burdick stopped the bleeding, end the inning. So after 3.5, the Bulldogs 6, the Mounties chip in. They have 2. as the Bulldogs get set to bat in the bottom half of the inning, which I believe Jack Tenuta, after throwing all of those pitches there in the top of the fourth, he's going to lead off the bottom of the fourth here for the Bulldogs. So that's not an easy task. Number 6 set to toe the rubber for the Mounties, Kyle Wagner. And he is just not listed in their pitching numbers anywhere, so can't give you a ERA or anything of the sort. We are in the bottom half of the fourth. Bulldogs will send Tenuta, Simmons, and Costa up at least here in the bottom half of the inning. And the Bulldogs, yeah, man, I just looked at this schedule and almost can't believe that it's accurate. They play here today, one day off, and that's it. 27, 28, 29. 4 games in 5 days. One of them is a non-leaguer against a good team, a good Waterford team in Connecticut. And then on to the second half of the season. In steps the pitcher, Jack Tenuta, number 22. We got a couple RBIs on the day. Stays upstairs. Ball 1. Wind blowing straight out to left. Now breaking ball. Nice pitch. We're going to miss. And that's away. Ball 2. On deck, Shep Simmons for the Bulldogs. And the pitcher doesn't like any other call, steps back. And that's a little curveball. Drops low, 3-1 the count. The hitters count. They call it, that stays up, and Tenuta does his job and reaches first base. Bulldogs leadoff hitter on, Simmons at bat. Nobody out, bottom half of the fourth.
Someone go grab a helmet and stand by the pitcher.
A little delay here.
He's good. He's behind the net. He's fine.
And Simmons steps in.
Come on, Wags. Hey, roll it over there.
Pitch, inside portion, called strike. 0-1.
Hey, that's a great spot. Let's go.
The 0-1 pitch, stealing second, and hit and run. Put that to right center, and being tracked, that's a single. And Tenuta had to hold up on the steal because if that gets caught, he would have been doubled up and jammed up at first. Works out for both. Bulldogs have first 2 runners on with nobody out. And in the box, number 9, Travis Costa, the catcher. Two on, no out for the Bulldogs. Breaking ball, slow breaker, called strike. And that one stays upstairs. 1-1 the count. And that's going to hit him, and Costa will take the base. And the Bulldogs now have returned the favor from the top of the first and loaded the bases with nobody out. So let's see. The top of the first, the Mounties were able to get 2 runs out of it. And let's see what the Bulldogs can do here as the Mounties infield moves up and in, as they can ill afford to give up more runs. And number 12 steps in for the Bulldogs, Andrew Bozek. And that's going to be down the line, turns on it. And that's at least a single bobbled by the outfielder. And 2 runs are going to be in. 2 RBIs, who goes first pitch, hunting on second base. You will find him. Big at bat by Drew Bozek. 2 RBIs, giving the Bulldogs 8. And runners on second and third with no outs. So the Bulldogs quickly answer and get those 2 runs right back for Tenuta. So what Tenuta wasn't getting all year, and help from his offense, he is getting today. Not that he needs all that much. He's pitching a heck of a game. And 1 tricky inning. 28 at-bat for the Bulldogs, Nick Tria. 2 runners in scoring position. Nobody out. And that one breaks away, 1-1. Coach Pizzato wants certainly nothing less than at least these 2 runners across. And that stays up, 2-1 the count. And that is ground ball. Shortstop, throw across the first, and they'll get their first out of the inning with another run across the board. Costa crosses home plate, giving the Bulldogs 9. In steps Michael Poole, number 33, with 1 out and a runner on third. Sack fly can score him. Swing and a miss. Break a ball away. So being only the bottom of the 4th and seeing the difficulty that number 6 for the Mounties is having, also their 3rd pitcher, they're going to run out of arms here tonight. So I would expect to see the Bulldogs offense put a few more across the plate. Got 1 down, runner at 3rd. Bulldogs have plated 3 here in the bottom of the 4th. Breaking ball away. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Here we go, Poole. Come on, Wags.
3-1 pitch, and that's brought to left field. Left fielder tracking it, makes the catch. Tags up from third. Throw comes, and it's going to be late. Sack fly by Poole. Brings across run number 10 for the Bulldogs. That'll be number 12. Bozek slides across home plate. And the score 10-2 here in the bottom of the 4th. So the Bulldogs did exactly what they wanted to do there. Bases loaded, nobody out, and they played 4 runs. And that's what you do. That's what, no runners left on base. Great job by the Bulldogs of producing and answering after a pivotal inning by the Mounties. They mounted their first attack, got their first couple runs. They worked Tenuta harder than he had been worked prior. And for the offense to actually come up and answer and be the savior here at the moment for the Bulldogs is nice to see. So they want to see more offense here in the second half of the season. I think a contributing factor here is I think for some reason the Mounties are out of arms. They do have another one warming up down there in the bullpen. But frankly, the pitcher we're seeing right here, I don't believe he's pitched all year. From what I can see, so. Could just be a missing stat. Lays that one in there for a strike. Number 3 is at bat for the Bulldogs, by the way, Noah Burdick. And he'll get the walk. Take first base with 2 outs. Number 24, Zach Miner, second baseman, will step in for the Bulldogs, the leadoff hitter. So they've spun to the top of the lineup again here at the bottom half of the 4th, which means at worst case you got Grayson Simmons, Jack Tenuta, Shep Simmons, and Travis Costa next inning. He'll be checked at first. So the Bulldogs quickly swing momentum back in their favor. A lot of time. Wisely calls timeout. A steal would be, if it was, steal wouldn't be a bad idea. 10-2 advantage on needed really, and a control issue. So you might as well let the pitcher work. 1-0 the count. Good lead at first. Gets back standing up. Shadows begin to creep into the field. And he's off. There's a pitch out and throws too far to the left. Slides in safely with the steal. So Burdick steals second, gets another runner in scoring position. Pretty much they were waiting on that. Didn't get the throw they needed. Burdick got a great jump in, has good wheels. And now Bulldogs are a single away from another run. 2-0 the count. Zach Miner, leadoff hitter for the Bulldogs, at the dish. And that pitch stays up and in. Grayson Simmons on deck for the Bulldogs. Freshman. Having a good year. And he will take the walk. Runners on first and second with 2 outs now. Up steps the freshman Grayson Simmons. Batting .294 and having a good night here tonight. And that first pitch over the outer side. 0-1 the count. And that one's grounded to third. Big hop. That's going to get past the third baseman. And rounding third. On his way home, no throw. Noah Burdick crosses home plate. Run number 11 for the Bulldogs. Put it in play and make things happen. Those are some tough hops. I don't know who rules that. I always give the batter the advantage or the Bulldog. So either way, he knocked the run in. I'll give him the RBI for it. 11-2 the score, and the Bulldogs have answered with a vicious bite. Big lead off second. They're looking to play with another hit. First pitch upstairs. Tenuta can do some real damage in this thing here. I do believe he has the insurance runs necessary for a pitcher of his caliber. Trailing 11-2, the catcher's got some big plans here to cut down the lead on second base. Which means that Zach Miner's doing his job. He's causing that much of a, bringing that much attention to himself in a scenario that in the big picture isn't a big thing. Those are the little things that the Bulldogs, they did all of them right last year, and they're starting to do them right again this year. Those are the little things, the baseball IQ. And this team has it. Turns on it, and that gets by the third baseman. And that is going to rounding third, a throw to home. It's going to plate another run. And wisely, both runners advance behind the throw. Another on the board, 12-2. 2 more in scoring position. Give Tenuta the hit and the RBI. Third baseman never touched it. Should he have touched it? I don't know. He pretty much, Tenuta laces the ball. When he hits it, that ball's got some high velocity off the bat. And now the Mounties are going to meet and speak with the coach here. It's 12-2, and the Bulldogs have 2 more runners in scoring position. And number 20 is going to take the mound for the Mounties. And while he warms up, folks, we're going to take a quick break.
That was awful. It's not exactly aerodynamic, Travis. 20%.
All right. It is the box, number 10, Shep Simmons. Bulldogs have really opened this thing up. 2 runners in scoring position. And the pitch, swing and a miss, number 20, pitching for Garty, pitching for the Mounties, their 4th pitcher. And big at bat score-wise. And the 0-1 is low and away. Short arms it a bit. Costa on deck. Not holding the runners. And that stays up and in. Garty's only got 4 pitching appearances on the season. Hasn't given up a run. Has inherited these runners, so they're not his. And check swing ball. And 3-1 the count. Discipline plate. And that pitch is going to be ball 4. Simmons takes the walk, loads the bases for the Bulldogs here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. They have 12. The Mounties have 2. Bulldogs would love to plate 2 more, that's for certain. Number 9, no one better to step in than Costa. 2nd best average on the team at 364. And the first pitch grounded up the middle. Will it get through? Snagged by the second baseman. He can't make the play. It'll score a run. And that's going to be a hit, folks, because that was way up to shoot. That was not an ordinary play. Couldn't make the transfer from glove to hand and actually got tripped up. Either way, it's an RBI single. Check another one on for the Bulldogs. 13-2 the score, and the bases remain loaded. At bat number 12, Drew Bozek for the Bulldogs. And a little upstairs, takes a swing, fouls it back. 0-1 the count. So just when the Mounties got on the board, cut it to 6-2, the Bulldogs tack on at least 7. That one stays away, 1-1. No room. Bases are packed. And that one's stays inside, almost got hit. 2-1 the count. Someone's got to teach him to stay right in there, and if there's an RBI on the line, take it. Take your base. And that's low. 3-1 the count. Pitcher struggling a little bit. As I said, it only appears that he's got 4 or 5 pitching appearances this year. No, actually, that's not correct. 1. So this is only his second pitching appearance, and he walks in run number 14 for the Bulldogs. So you don't want to get on him too bad. A pitcher like this is in development. He's in the development stages, as was the Mounties. Last pitcher, clearly they
21's batting.
were riding their hopes on their starter. They're in a little bit of a pitching jam, it appears. And you mix that with a team of defending state champion, a team of Wesley's caliber, and it turns into a 14-2 score. So stepping in for the Bulldogs with the bases loaded and 2 outs. First pitch is inside. Number 21 for the Bulldogs, Chase Collins. Only a second at bat of the season. Good opportunity to see some pitches. Who knows, maybe grab a couple RBIs. Fly ball to center field. Center fielder coming in, tracking, and makes the catch. That'll end the inning, but not before the Bulldogs put up an 8 spot on the scoreboard. After 4 innings of play, the Bulldogs 14, the Mounties 2. This production is brought to you in part by Valenti Subaru. Subaru sales and service located at Dunn's Corners in Westerly. Valenti means value. With over 90 years in the auto business, the Valenti family knows how to keep customers happy. Voted Retailer of the Year 2022 by Subaru of New England. Kiefer Martial Arts, kids karate, 2 free weeks and a free uniform. Exclusive offer for Westerly Live viewers. Use coupon code Westerly Live at checkout on KieferMartialArts.com. Wireless Zone. Authorized Verizon retailer, repairs zone, cracked screen, new battery, we got you covered. Located next to Duncan at Dunn's Corners in Westerly. Wireless Zone at Westerly. And with that, we're still waiting to see who is going to take the mound for the Bulldogs. I see number 24 approaching, but he also plays second base. And he is going to toe the rubber. Number 24, so Tenuda's day is done. He has 4 innings in the books today. No earned runs given up, I don't believe. I believe those both were unearned, at least one of them. So regardless, he stands as the pitcher of record, barring something really, really, really horrible. He should get his first win on the books here today. The offense backed him up here for the first time in the season, and he lowered his ERA. And when you come in with a 1.75 and you go out lowering it with a victory, it's a good day. He also had a few RBIs, a good day at the dish. All in all, a great day by the junior, number 22. And the Bulldogs they're going to go as far as he takes them, pretty much. There's a good combination of players on this team. They have all the weapons they need. And this right here, we're just about at the midpoint of the season. Just 2 games away. So then everything is a setup for the postseason. Number 24, Zach Miner in for the Bulldogs to pitch. And we actually got a quick look at him the last game we covered, and he came in and got 3 straight outs with the bases loaded. Just completely retired the side, didn't give up any runs. was really impressive. So he'll get a little work here today. I do believe if the Bulldogs don't give up any runs, there's some mercy rule in effect. Maybe they have to hit still. Not sure of all that. Number 1 will step in. That's Kyle Smolin for the Mounties. And first pitch swinging, pops it up and out of play. Oh, and 2 count here. And swinging just fouled off. I'm going through paperwork. I'm not even looking at the pitch, trying to get this kid's numbers up. 0-2 the count. 14-2 the score here. We are in the top half of the 5th inning. Bulldogs looking to maybe put an early end to this thing. Reliever, closer, whatever you want to call him, Zach Miner in. He's done a nice job, and then sort of waves at it, but does a nice job of dropping in a single there. Number 1 for the Mounties. And they're in business with a runner on and nobody out. Kind of waved at that outside pitch and turned enough on it to find an open spot. Runner on first, nobody out. Pitch is upstairs, got some good pop behind it. One to 0 the count. And swing and miss. 1-1. At the moment, the wind has calmed. I think they should probably run themselves out of a force out, meaning give it a steal opportunity, but no, not going to happen inside. 2-1 the count. And that is on the inner portion, 2-2. And the pitch by Miner fouled away. He gets a lot of whip at the end of that pitch. He really does. Complete follow through. So Miner, 2-2 the count. Runner at first base, nobody out. And that's right there, ground ball, third base, off the third baseman's glove into left. And that's going to be good for a single. And the runner's going to be stuck now. Throws at second, we got a run down. And let's see how they do it here. And he is out at third base, out of the base path. And that is the call by the official, because he wasn't tagged, but he was out of the base path. So the Bulldogs do get the out. The runner wisely followed the run down, so he does advance to second base. And that's how they teach it. Whenever there's a run down ahead, you kind of almost run him, force him ahead of base. And so they do have a runner in scoring position. 1 out, however. Nice play by the Bulldogs. Heads up play by the Bulldogs. Not such a good base running play by the Mounties. It's the second time that exact ground ball has had those results. That drives deep to left. Unfortunately, it was definitely off a vehicle. The sound of aluminum and not cement at the landing of that one. Beautiful place to watch a baseball game. Beautiful place to watch a softball game. Dangerous place to park a vehicle. So we got to run around second, one down. We are in the top of the fifth. Bulldogs trying not to give up that run. Going to steal third, and we got a fly ball sprayed away, foul, and that's 2 strikes.
Thank you.
0-2 the count.
2 strikes. Play.
Big lead again. He's going to step off and throw, and he almost has him on the tag. Goes back standing up, though. He kind of taught not to worry about him at all. I mean, it is 14-2. 0-2 the count, 1 down. Setting up outside. Batter right up on the plate. Steals third, swings on a pitch. Almost hit him, fouls it back. Count remains 0-2. And the pitch waves at it, and the same result. That's going to be a single. Bobbled in left. So that'll be runners at first and third with 1 out. If nothing less, the Bulldogs can get out of it with a double play. And that's the way they're going to set up the middle of the infield. They got 1 out now, runners at the corners. Inevitably, that runner is going to try to take second and get rid of the force out and the double play possibility. Usually on the second or third pitch. I don't think they made much communication sign-wise. And that is way outside. Nice job by Costa. 2-0 the count. And he's off. That pitch is outside. They're going to make the throw through, and they can't hold it on the tag. The ball popped loose. So now the Mounties with 2 runners in scoring position and 1 out. 2-0 the count. Number 16 at bat, Braden Slack. He's batting 190 coming in. And he is walked. Not the batter you want to walk, holding that average. Let's see who they send up here. The bases are loaded. Makes things easier for the Bulldogs. And 1 out. Number 9 steps in. Cameron Delmore. Where are you, Cameron? He must really be up for JV because I don't have him on any roster at all. Oh, there he is. Batting 333. Only 8 plate appearances, but a 333 average. All right, the 1-0. And that's going to be low. Costa saves it, 2-0 the count. Minor electing to work out of the windup. That stays inside, struggling to find things. 3-0. And the 3-0 is going to be upstairs, and a runner's walked in. So Minor struggling to find the strike zone at the moment. Costa giving him a few words of encouragement. Number 5 steps in. Connor Thibault, 286 average. Got 1 out here in the top of the 5th. And that's a strike. Swung on, fly ball center field. Coming on, and he catches it, makes the throw through. No tag attempt, and a nice throw. Wouldn't have worked out for the Mounties, out number 2. So a nice job there by not allowing a run, and see if the Bulldogs can get out of it. Nearly unscathed. In steps number 20, the pitcher. Five at bats, looking for his first hit. And the Bulldogs want to throw him strikes, and they don't want this to be his first hit. And he swings on an inside pitch, fouls it back. One and one. 2 down. And that's over the outer portion. Strike 2, 1 and 2. Liner wants to bring his team into the dugout. And that's going to stay outside, 2 and 2 the count. A little overthrow there, maybe. He's got sort of a violent release on his pitch. Adds to a lot of pop, I'd imagine. And that one's right there. And it is popped up, being tracked in foul ground. Looking for it, and they can't find it. It falls right behind the third baseman on a play that sometimes comes back to haunt you.
Thank you.
2 and 2 the count. The kick and the pitch. It's right there, strike 3, and that'll do it for the top of the 5th, folks. The Mounties able to tack on 1. The Bulldogs 14, the Mounties 3. I think the Bulldogs would like to tack on another run here. I don't know the rules. I think this one's over. And it is, folks. The mercy rule has been enforced. And that'll do it. Westerly 14, Mount St. Charles 3. Hopefully the Bulldogs use this as a springboard to the second half of their season. What a performance by Jack Tenuta. He will get his first official win of the season, lowering his ERA. 4 complete. No earned runs given up. A nice job at the dish. A couple RBIs as well. Great game overall by the Bulldogs. Folks, we are back in action tomorrow night. And that's going to be 6:30 p.m. for some ladies lacrosse. Tune in. Westerly.live signing off, folks.